There are TV shows that inspire us, and then there are shows that leave us wondering what really happened when the cameras stopped rolling. Castle Impossible seemed to belong to the first group. A breathtaking dream, a centuries-old French chateau reborn through courage, creativity, and love. Viewers across the world fell for its story. An ordinary couple taking on an extraordinary restoration, turning history's ruins into a modern masterpiece. But as time went on, that dream began to fracture. Beneath the fairy tale walls, some cracks couldn't be covered with paint, both in the castle itself and in the story told to millions. It turns out Castle Impossible is not so far removed from controversy. Even after becoming one of HGTV's most talked about shows, it has faced growing criticism from viewers who once adored it. Fans have praised the beauty, yes, but they've also accused it of deception, waste, and reckless ambition. What began as a love story between a couple and a castle slowly became a story about money, mistakes, and public backlash. The chateau may look timeless on camera, but off-screen, the reality was anything but. From ballooning repair costs that nearly bankrupted its owners, to accusations that the show's storytelling blurred the line between reality and illusion, Castle Impossible has become a lesson in how even the most beautiful dream can carry a heavy price. The biggest controversy began long before filming ever started. When Daphne and Ian inherited the 500-year-old chateau outside Paris, they didn't just inherit beauty, they inherited debt. Reports revealed that the French government expected nearly $1 million in back taxes on the estate. For a young couple with limited means, this was an impossible wait. The cameras never showed the full extent of it, but behind the scenes, every decision, every wall, window, and roof beam came with the knowledge that the tax bill was looming. Fans later criticized HGTV for romanticizing the inheritance without disclosing how financially dangerous it was. What looked like a fairy tale on screen, a couple stepping into a storybook palace, was in fact a legal and financial minefield. Some viewers said they felt misled, arguing that the network downplayed the real hardship to maintain the dream. Others wondered if the renovation was even feasible or just a storyline built for ratings. As the show aired, this financial shadow hung quietly over the episodes. The couple's laughter in front of the cameras looked genuine, but behind those moments, every decision seemed to carry the weight of survival. And for some fans, that contrast, the bright optimism against the grim financial reality, became the show's first major controversy. The next controversy unfolded inside the chateau itself. On television, Castle Impossible was presented as a series of clever restorations and heartwarming breakthroughs. But what viewers didn't see in detail were the endless surprises hidden behind the walls. Rotten beams, leaking roofs, infestations, ancient plumbing. Each discovery pushed the project further past its original budget. It's been said that just heating a single floor of the chateau cost several $100s a day, and that replacing windows could reach tens of thousands per section. Yet those jaw-dropping figures rarely made it into the polished narrative. The show instead leaned into upbeat edits, showing the couple's determination and optimism. As word spread online, fans began discussing the realism of the show's budget. Some questioned whether HGTV was footing the bill, while others worried that the young couple might be burying themselves in unpayable costs. The comment sections on social media were filled with mixed emotions: admiration for their bravery, but also concern that the dream had turned into a money pit. Another major controversy surrounded authenticity. French architecture lovers and longtime viewers of Renovation shows began to question whether Castle Impossible respected the chateau's 500-year heritage, or simply modernized it for television appeal. Some scenes showed antique stone fireplaces replaced with sleek fixtures, and ornate furniture swapped out for minimalist decor. On fan forums, debates erupted. Was this a restoration or a transformation? One viewer wrote, "They're turning a French treasure into an HGTV showroom." Cultural preservationists raised similar questions. How much of France's architectural identity was being lost to entertainment? While the show stars defended their creative choices, saying they wanted to blend old soul and new comfort, the criticism didn't fade easily. For many European fans, the show symbolized a larger issue: the tension between respecting history and chasing ratings. Even within HGTV circles, whispers spread that Castle Impossible had become too ambitious, taking on a cultural symbol rather than a personal project. And when clips of design changes circulated online, the conversation turned heated. What started as admiration for a brave couple quickly transformed into a cultural debate about heritage, design, and authenticity. By mid-season, Castle Impossible had become one of HGTV's most talked about shows, and also one of its most divisive. Some fans praised it as the most beautiful show the network has ever made, while others called it stressful, unrealistic, and even painful to watch. Comments flooded forums. They make it look easy, but every episode feels like chaos. This isn't inspiration, it's exhaustion. Who in their right mind could afford to do this? The frustration wasn't just about the work, it was about trust. Viewers felt like the show promised something it couldn't deliver. The illusion that anyone could revive history with enough passion and paint. For many, that illusion broke the moment the financial and structural realities leaked online. Still, amid the backlash, there were thousands of loyal fans defending the couple, praising their courage, their creativity, and the sheer size of what they had taken on. It was a clash between realism and romance, and no matter which side you were on, Castle Impossible had everyone talking. Another subtle controversy came from within the show itself, its editing style. While the premise promised elegance and inspiration, several viewers noticed that the tone often shifted to crisis after crisis. Every episode seemed to end on a cliffhanger, a leak, a crack, a deadline missed, a supplier gone wrong. Many fans began saying the show felt manufactured, that the drama was overplayed to keep viewers hooked. One fan wrote, "I just want to see the restoration, not the breakdown." This wasn't the first time HGTV faced this kind of critique, but for Castle Impossible, the contrast was sharper. The château, with its centuries of history and grace, deserved quiet storytelling, not reality TV tension. As viewers voiced that concern, it became clear that the show's emotional tone had alienated part of its audience. Behind all the controversy was one undeniable truth: the project was monumental. The chateau wasn't just a set, it was a living piece of history. Keeping it standing required not just money, but endless patience and a steady hand. During interviews aired alongside the show, Daphne and Ian admitted how emotionally draining it all was. They spoke about sleepless nights, financial fear, and moments when they thought of giving up. But what the cameras captured wasn't just renovation, it was survival. That honesty, for some fans, saved the show. It reminded viewers that Castle Impossible wasn't about perfection, it was about perseverance. Still, even as they continued to rebuild, the controversies surrounding authenticity, money, and transparency never fully disappeared. By the final episodes, Castle Impossible had become both loved and questioned. The chateau stood more stunning than ever. Restored rooms, repaired roofs, life returning to its halls, yet doubts lingered. Had the couple spent more than they could ever recover? Had HGTV turned history into spectacle? The show's future was unclear, but its impact was lasting. It reminded viewers that dreams come at a cost, and that even beauty hides cracks beneath the surface. For Daphne and Ian, the chateau was both a blessing and a burden. For fans, it was a mirror, a story of ambition, love, and the fine line between reality and illusion.